Hi there guys, so as we know, Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev previously had until January 31st in order to make a deal for their fight that will be contested for the IBF world title. Now Eddie Hearn has confirmed that the IBF have granted them a 2-week extension until February 14th in order to finalise a deal for that fight. Now obviously, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua want that fight to be in the UK. The frontrunners to secure that fight are Tottenham Stadium and the Emirates Stadium. In fact, the Emirates Stadium looks like it could be the frontrunner, which is quite surprising considering Anthony Joshua did express his interest in the Tottenham Stadium, especially considering that is a new build as well, and it's time to make history in a new stadium. So obviously that would be great if it was in that stadium, but ultimately it doesn't matter where it is as long as it's in the UK. I think that's all we really care about, and I think that is why there has been an extension granted, because obviously if it went to the 31st and a deal hadn't been made, then it will be opened up to everyone. Anyone can bid for that fight, and you can guarantee it will not be in the UK if that were to happen. So this 2-week extension is very promising, because Kubrat Pulev didn't care where the fight was. He didn't care whether it was in the UK, whether it was in Turkey, Saudi Arabia, America, anywhere that made the most income. That was what Kubrat Pulev was bothered about for this fight. Not really bothered about the world title shot, which is surprising considering he's only ever had one world title shot against Vladimir Klitschko, and he really let himself down in that fight. So ultimately, this is the last throw of the dice for Kubrat Pulev, and he wants to do it wherever he can earn the most money. I believe Kubrat Pulev will retire after this fight, especially if the inevitable happens, if Anthony Joshua gets rid of Kubrat Pulev early, which I think will probably happen. I don't think Kubrat Pulev has the steel to stand up to Anthony Joshua. So in that fight, Pulev isn't going to last long, I don't think, but it is the perfect fight for Kubrat Pulev, especially at this stage of his career. Not in a boxing sense, I mean, he's way past his best, he's going on 40, but in a financial sense, it's definitely the best time for Kubrat Pulev because he has an opportunity to earn big bucks and then get out of the sport, which you can't really have any qualms about. Anyone who leaves the sport healthy, with their faculties intact, and enough money for their future after the sport of boxing, anyone who manages to achieve that, I am extremely happy for. So for Kubrat Pulev, this will probably be his last one. Now obviously if he were to win, then obviously it won't be his last one. In that case, there will likely be a rematch obviously, as long as they make a deal before February 14th, because obviously a mandatory does not have to oblige to a rematch clause, but if there is a contract put in place before that, if a deal was made before Purse Biz, then obviously they can put a rematch clause in there. But I don't think that will happen. I don't think Kubrat Pulev possesses that much of a threat to Anthony Joshua. Obviously, Joshua cannot underestimate him. He knows what happens when you do that. And I don't think Anthony Joshua will do that again. He learned after the Andy Ruiz Jr. fight. He is clearly a better fighter than Andy Ruiz Jr. and he proved that in the second fight. He just dropped the ball in the first one and he paid the price, but he won't do that again. He will learn from his mistakes because let's remember, Anthony Joshua is still learning. He is still very early on in his career. But anyway guys, what are your thoughts on this? Anthony Joshua and Kubrat Pulev have been given until February 14th in an extension from the IBF to make a deal. Guys, drop your thoughts in the comments below, click the thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks guys.